What up there, people? It's your boy Molly, and it's been a long time. I mean, yeah, I uploaded a couple little small joints, but that was just to let y'all know that I'm back. I ain't going nowhere. I got a little bit of stuff to upload, but I mean, it's been a long ass time since I've been able to upload a video like this. So y'all may be wondering, what's this? What's this we're looking at? This was my first project right here, my first ever project. Came out nice. It came out great for the returning subscribers that might have seen this one. Y'all saw how it came out. It was a beautiful bike. I need to get a new battery for it, but it was a beautiful bike. What I got for y'all today, me personally, I'm excited for it. And I love this damn project, and I think it's far better than the Project Flash. Far better than the Project Flash? Most definitely far better than the Project Flash. So, I hope y'all like it as much as I do. It's been a year in the damn making. A whole year. And this video right here is about an hour long. So if you're chilling right now, go ahead, grab you some snacks, some food, some get comfortable, because this one's gonna take a while. But we got a lot of things. Alright, there's a lot to cover. But besides that, let's stop wasting time and let's get to it. First, starting off with the unboxing. Let's see what we got. They'll be getting this really nice frame that I keep seeing on eBay for like 300, 400. Or not the original frame. I think I can always just do some fixing up. Alright, another one. Drum brakes. But this is the OEM axle because this is bigger than I thought it would be. And another one. Got this. Okay, well, FedEx. It was in a box, larger sprocket than I expected. Give me my package now. 12 2. And here we are. So like I was saying, I'm extremely disappointed. Early morning. The USPS driver very pissed because the way my dad was making me outside. These are mad cold. But here they are. These rear shock absorbers. As you can, I'm not just sure. Another thing I like too on the website, it showed this top piece was 9 inches, which I don't mind. Look for not that small. I guess like the bike or like the bike being 500 pounds. I mean, or the. Yeah, somebody said you can't get the speed of the bike, the force that will be put on the handlebars. Stink. And there it is. I think this one's for the rear axle. And I have another one on the way for the front axle. This is the other aluminum tube that's going to be used for the front axles spacers. Alright, you know what this is right here? These are pit bike brakes that I'm going to be using on a motorcycle to fit on. Yeah, that's not pushed enough at all. Personally, I keep my package, the one with the black thing, which I don't mind. Only really care to have the looks like it's going to be pretty comfortable. It's nice and soft. Unlike my Project Flash seat, from what I remember, the Project Flash seat is not this soft. This thing is big. Alright, got some new items. So we got these washers because that sprocket hub obviously disconnects from the actual wheel, so I need these washers to keep it from moving side to side and coming off of the rubber parts. Using these BMX pegs that I'm gonna use these for foot pegs. I'm gonna make my own foot peg bracket for BMXs and still look decent. 530 chain. But at least all holes will now. Alright, that's something for QS. And there's the chunky chain. This is chunky. It's crazy. Alright, this is the second time I had to 4mm spline joints. With this, I needed 5mm wide. Now hopefully this will fit. Yeah. And a couple other things. We have the fuse box setup stuff. I gotta do a little bit of crimping, cutting, wiring, and iron sleeve. I want some waterproof stuff. Grips, baby. Tail lights. These are tiny, and I like that. I didn't want these to be big at all. Here, this is our flash relay for turn signals and all that. More stuff to open. These little mirrors right here, nice and simple. It's nice and simple, I meant to say. This is our key switch, power switch, on and off. Battery, take the battery out, put it back in, so it can reset to be bigger. So as you see, the door hinges. We got a good amount of stuff in here. This is the throttle, stronger, tougher plastic, motorcycle horn. This right here is our headlight. Keep it nice and simple as usual. Let's see what we have here. This is a 3-speed switch. Lock. DC to DC voltage reducer. These are what we're using to mount the mirrors. It's the housing. Okay, let me just show you the headlight. This is taking forever. Some dumbass put the plastic behind the fucking rim. This is for the engine mounts, so I have more than enough. Nice large big plate of steel. Wait, what? Unless I read something wrong, if I'm correct, I only ordered 1. I have 4. Yes, sir. The same old wiring harness I used for Project Flash. Nice packaging than I expected. Holy, this thing is meaty. Golly, this thing is chunky. I'm actually really glad it comes with that fuse. I don't know how big that fuse is, but this is huge. This is nice and clean. Pretty goddamn thick too. All right, we waited just a little bit longer. Are these 4? I'm gonna be doing. And it's over and over again in order to get this thing to ship. So alright, there's just the box. Let's get this stuff off. Little voltmeter. Golly, this is a juicy charger. Just like mine. Yes, sir. Y'all be seeing what I'll do with the switches. And this should be the phone. Now that we've got everything unboxed, let's go ahead and start building this bike up. Alright, so right here I'm doing the same thing I had to do with my original project, my Project Flash. These are pit bike forks, and they only fit 12mm axles. I need them to fit 15mm axles. So now I need to cut out spacers for the axles so the wheels can stay stable. Alright, so now we're about to do a little bit of framework, chain guides to keep the chain from rubbing on any frame parts, mount the gas tank, seat mounts, brake mounts, all that small stuff as of right now. Let's get to it. because I'm on a tight budget. I ordered some things for the project, handlebars, foot pegs and all that stuff, but I couldn't fit a kickstand in the budget, so I'm gonna chop the kickstand off of this because I like how thick and heavy duty it is. It looks like it's long enough. I could have waited to get a kickstand, but I was in a bit of a rush, and once again this kickstand looked good, so I said fuck it, I'm gonna chop it off and use it. Finished this at night. Kickstand is off. About to grind it up. If y'all see me doing night clips, that's because during me trying to chop off the kickstand, I felt like I was about to get attacked by a wasp. I don't know how aggressive wasps actually are, but I get paranoid, so I started working most of the time at nighttime because there's wasps all up in the tree next to our house. But what I'm doing here is making these holes bigger so I can fit a long 3/8 bolt to mount the motor. Okay, so right now I'm taking this wedging tool and this cheap mallet, shoving it in between this rubber piece and this old crusty bearing. Just took a couple of hard hits. Alright, so I didn't really record me putting the bearings on it because that really took a long ass time. Since I don't really have the proper tools, I had to use whatever I had. But right now we're about to test this motor to make sure it actually works, and it does. The normal thing. Yeah, that might be normal. Alright, so before my battery died, I tried to record me doing this here, but I welded this plate right here on these original engine mounts, just welded them there on both sides. So far, just tack welds, and then I went and added this bar. And I'm going to fully weld that in a minute, but right now the next important thing I need to do before I start I'll worry about full welds, is just making two simple little notches, putting holes in them, putting them there so they can mount on the screw. So we have it mounted up here, and bam, so I have bottom support and top support, and that should be enough for this motor. Finally actually welding the kickstand. And as you see, I'm working in the morning. That's because it just got done raining, so there was no bugs out. Welded up the kickstand. Now we need to do the next thing, and then is make these holes in both swing arm and down here on the frame. We need to make these fit this 3/8. See, it goes in, but then I can't get it past that. This impact drill, I'm gonna take this bit and we're gonna make it a 3/8 screw, alright? Because I'm tired of buying a bunch of random shit. Whatever bolts are supposed to fit in these just allow me to turn into a 3/8. There we go. Now we're about to start building the battery box. Alright, so sadly I couldn't get any of this recorded because this glitchy ass GoPro 9 was acting like it was at 40% battery, and really it was at probably 1% to 0 until I cut off officially and I couldn't actually record anymore. But this is what happened. Y'all saw me cut part of this, but you didn't see me cut it all. So this is the front wall. We got 2 holes. The thicker one is the floor. So this thin steel right here is the back wall. Alright, as I was looking, hopefully the cables will fit through here. GoPro 5 a little bit, so we had 37%. Got this chopped off. We got this chopped off, and I did the holes for mounting the motor cable. Now we're about to weld both of these up. If you're wondering why the video quality and the audio quality just downgraded like crazy, well, that's because I went back to my GoPro 5. The GoPro 9 was being way too unreliable, whether it was a glitchy GoPro problem or a battery problem. Regardless, I did not want to miss out on any more recordings, so we had to take a step down in order to get all the footage. So as you can see, the outline right there, for the longest, I had an idea to where I wanted to put the controller until I got my controller and realized it was bigger than I thought it would be. So then I needed to figure out a different place to put it in order for it to look better. So what I'm about to do here is cut out a nice open space so we can have wires route through the controller box to the battery box. Need to get my light. Oh, we're about to weld. So now we're cutting out the panels for the battery box and the controller box. If I've seen a little back and forth on things, that's because I kind of was in a rush to get as much done as possible. Still trying to get things done cleanly, smoothly, but I wanted to be fast with it. So now we're about to chop up some notches and stuff and get some holes screwed in for some panel mounting. Alright, so with this panel, it's a little different. It's not like the right side panel where it screws closed. This panel will act as a door, which is what these hinges are for. And what you see me doing on the side with the drill over here is I'm threading out the holes so I can screw the screws in. Alright, now we're about to cut off a mount for this key switch. So originally the lock that I'm using for this door is meant to be like on a closet door or, you know, an in-house door without a lock, which means this uses screws, but I need the holes to be bigger for the bolts that I'm using. But I'm going to assume that my GoPro 5 battery might have died because I didn't record me actually placing the holes on the panel and cutting off the one piece to the lock that you see is looking very long. So right here you see me grinding down the welds I did so I can neatly weld on the triangular panel that I also didn't record. Listen, when the GoPro battery dies or something happens, I still do things, I still weld because once again, I was trying to get this project done, and I mainly want to get the project done while it's still cold outside. So I can, you know, ride in the cold and not have to deal with riding in 112-degree weather. But right now we're making the hole for the key switch in the triangular panel. So right here you see the two holes in the panel. I didn't use those. As you see, I'm about to weld it on because you see a little open space. It's going to make the panel to come off so I can access stuff through that open space. But it was so small, my skinny ass and small hands still couldn't even fit in there. Now we're prepping this frame up because we're about to get the welding and we're about to get to creating this controller box real soon. Alright, now we gotta prop this up, get it ready for welding. Get it in the correct position, make sure it's balanced. And I'm not gonna lie, this took me a long ass time to do, trying to make sure that this was as equal as I can possibly make it. This took some time. It took me probably like at least 15 to 20 or more minutes. And now that the battery box is nice and welded up, it's time to get started on the controller box. So you may be wondering why am I installing the plate right here instead of on the inside. I'll save those details for the review. Alright, this is what we have so far. Battery box welded. But gonna need to fill up these notches. I actually accidentally took this picture, but I thought it looked really nice, so I added it. And now it's time to start working on the panels for the controller box. If you're wondering why I'm using this saw to cut this skinny piece instead of the big saw, well, that's because those little notches I put on the side frame bar, I try to chop them with the saw, and I might have took a tooth off the saw. Okay, so you see this panel with the bar. This panel's meant to open. I was testing it on the right side since I had the frame flipped on that side. But I wasn't supposed to weld it there. I accidentally welded it there, so I ended up breaking it off and welding it to the left side. So if you notice, they change sides or switch, that's why. So what I'm doing here is I'm cleaning up all the rust, dirt, grime, roughness off the panels, smoothing them up, smoothing up the edges, rounding out the edges, finalizing all the parts. I end up doing the same with the body, getting this thing ready to be finalized and painted. So after cleaning up all the panels, there's a couple more things I need to poke holes in and chop up, and that was making mounts, the foot pegs, tail lights, and headlight. As you see, the foot pegs, they don't fit. So now I need to make them fit. Alright, so the GoPro 5 battery is getting real low, so what I'm about to do here is cut out another angle piece to make the foot peg mounts, and then I'm going to make the little tail light mounts. I might not be able to record it, but that's what I'm about to do.
too long. Much better.
Alright, so for the headlight housing, it had a hole already in it, but the hole was too small for the headlight that I was using since I had extra wires for the turn signals. So I made a bigger hole over that hole, and I'm going to cut the middle piece out and make a nice long opening, and it should work.
Now, about to weld these up.
Alright, so for my last project, of course I did some test riding before I finalized it, painted it up, and all that. But I didn't record it. This time, I decided to record the test ride. But before I can test ride, I need to put these tires on.
Yeah, we test riding. It's been a while since I had to do it.
No, we're just helping you out. Here we go, bro. All right, remember, go right. Never left.
It's disgustingly quick.
That's one. Yeah. You see how that motherfucker wiggle? That's how much torque it got.
You said, huh?
Look like that moves.
This thing is disgustingly quick.
So if you heard what my dad said before I started driving off, he said, don't turn left, just turn right. Well, the kickstand was too low, so when I first went to drive off, before putting the camera on my head, I scraped on the kickstand, so I gotta reposition it.
Alright, so I got this 3/8 bolt. I cut the hex off. We're gonna weld it to the frame for mounting the gas tank, keeping it from rattling.
So I'm threading in these side holes right here because I got a little something I want to mount on the bike that I think came out really cool looking. I'm gonna let y'all see in a minute. Alright, so right here we're about to add this little lip. The reason I wanted to add this lip is because if you remember when I removed the controller to show y'all what the progress was on the controller box, there was a pretty big split in between the wall and the floor, which I was going to close off, but I didn't this time because me adding this lip is going to add as a air scoop to cool off the controller. Alright, and this is where we get started on that little thing I was going to add on the side, what I was threading those holes for. I call this the voltage box. And me personally, this thing looks sick as hell. Let's make this. Alright, voltage meter, mount and boxes all welded up and done. Now it's time to sandpaper this stuff and get the painting. Alright, so because I got done painting everything and the frame, gas tank and everything was looking so clean, I wanted to try one more time to clean these dirty ass rims. They're not as dirty as they was 1 year ago because I tried to clean them around that time, but I wanted to try to see if I can use some more stuff to clean them even better, and got some decent results. But now that that stuff is done, we got a couple more things to unbox so we can get to this electrical stuff and officially start putting together this bike. Finally, got it all set up. Horn works. Loud as hell. You know what I like about this light? I have daylight running lights. Turn signals work. The voltmeter, which works. Alright, so I didn't really record it. I didn't think that I needed to, but I pretty much made very long extended cables for everything. And y'all will see why. And the reason is, I got even bigger handlebars. So little silver handlebars, they're just too small. They couldn't fit all my controls. So I got these beautiful ass 15-inch TC Bros ape hangers. Alright, now in this box, I bought the same pair of fork clamps. You may ask, why did I do that? Well, one, as you can see, they're far cleaner. Two, if we look here, the original fork clamps, the one bottom piece was laying flat, but the other, as you can tell, is angled up, which caused, when I turned my wheels straight, the handlebars would be facing slightly right. If I straighten out the handlebars, the wheel would be facing slightly left. So once again, if I straighten out the wheel, that meant not only is my handlebars facing slightly right, my headlight would be facing slightly right, which means I wouldn't probably be able to see what's in front of me. But with all that out the way, let's finally get to building this bike and seeing what the final product looks like. doing here is taping up all the wires. As I showed y'all before, I extended them all, so I don't want just a bunch of little wires wobbling all over the place. So I want to keep the bike nice and neat, so I'm wrapping them up. Now the wires are done wrapped up, I was going to heat shrink them up, but the heat shrink I was using sucks ass, so we skipped that part. So here it is the next morning. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell y'all right now, this bike took me hours to put together. That first day was like 8 hours. But right now we're cleaning up the bike, wrapping up all the wires, making it look nice and neat. But before we can completely neaten up this bike, there's one more thing I gotta do, so there can be one more thing I have to add. So as you can see, I'm taking the voltmeter right here. I got this glue stuff, can't remember what it's fully called, but it's supposed to be some waterproof, water sealant stuff. I'm putting it inside the voltmeter, so just in case if I end up getting caught on a rainy day or water splash and it hits the voltmeter, hopefully this stuff will keep it waterproof. And there goes the voltmeter box. Alright, and the last couple things, you know I gotta have something to hold my speaker, something to hold my phone. I gotta be jamming that music while I'm riding. Hold up.